So, folks, welcome to TGV MindShift series, a groundbreaking series. Here we dive into the intricacies of professional mindset mastery with the esteemed guest Gita Sethi. As a life coach, strategic advisor, and NLP trainer and practitioner, Gita brings unparalleled expertise in helping professionals cultivate successful and sustainable mindsets. Join us as we explore transformative topics aimed at unlocking your full potential and achieving professional excellence. And today is the third topic, and the topic in the TGV Mind Shift series is mindfulness. And just to give you a recap of the last two topics that we have covered in this series, topic number one was what does the word communication mean to you? And topic number two was self talk. And the fourth topic for next week is NLP Unleashed. So, as we prepare to delve into our conversation on the third topic, mindfulness, here's an exciting twist as always, and let us tickle our guest's brain first. So, Geeta, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words. Again, I'm coming up with a new set of words. I'll mention a few. Would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. If you're ready, let's get started.
Sure.
Yeah, here comes the first word, purpose.
It's my mission in life to help people find their purpose in life.
Dedication.
Focused,
Determination.
persistent,
Devotion.
loyal,
Clarity.
of thought,
Accountability.
partner,
Goal.
smart goals,
Presence.
now,
Space.
moment, area,
Okay, last one is commitment.
ownership.
So, before I move forward, I would like to tell you something. Devotion, dedication, determination were one of the three houses of our five houses during my school. That's why I have kept those names,
Okay,
those, words, and those are
bird.
kind of instilled amongst all our students and all. So, kudos to our principal sir for that thought provoking
Yes,
the stuff. Amazing.
very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, and very meaningful words to, determination. So that really clicks on it.
exactly.
So which group you were in? What was the name of that group?
My school was Sri Aurobindo High School. It was not part of any chain of schools as such. However, he was inspired by Sri Arvind Ghosh, right?
Oh,
So you must have heard about
yes,
Arvindo Ashram in Puducherry.
yes, right.
So a lot of values are instilled from there. Okay, all right.
Right.
So and thank you so much, Geeta, for participating in the first rapid fire round. And as you are aware, there is second rapid fire round towards the end of the episode. And before I formally welcome you to the show, let me welcome the audience. So, folks, you have tuned into TGV and hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series where we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. I'm your host, Naveen Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place through valuable discussions that add value not only to your life but also to your career. And thank you so much for tuning in. And before we get started, a few facts about TGV. TGV is the world's only quadrilingual podcast that has interviewed over 650 guests from 70 plus countries.
Wow.
And we are marching towards 500th episode on our English platform. And we recently did our 100th milestone in Telugu. And we are also marching towards 75th episode on Hindi. So likewise, there is a lot of interesting stuff in case if you are from India and if you know other languages like Telugu, Hindi and Kannada, please feel free to tune in by searching for TGV Telugu, TGV Kannada, or TGV Hindi from wherever you have tuned in. So, Geeta, hearty welcome to TGV and welcome back to TGV Mindshift series. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thanks, Naveen. How are you doing? I'm so
great.
excited today to come to the third series. Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm on a roll as always and
Okay.
excited to get into this third conversation because this is one of the most important and intriguing topics as well. And we have been getting a lot of positive responses for the first two episodes. I couldn't wait anymore. Let's get started.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
let's start with the basics today. Like, what is mindfulness in your opinion? How is it different from being present?
So, as per my thought process and whatever experience I have, according to me, mindfulness is when we are connected with our own selves within us and outside. So, within us means with our own emotions, our own thoughts, beliefs, which are constantly going on, and what is happening around us. So, if there is a proper, thought Like, okay, what is happening right now? Like, for example, right now I'm talking to Naveen, and this is being recorded, and this is for everyone. So this is a very clear mindfulness. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to cook today or what I'm going to do tomorrow. So, all that is not on my mind right now. So according to me, that is mindfulness, where I'm in the moment and much aware of what is going on, and also what is the purpose behind it. Very clarity of thought.
Yeah, got it. That is clear. I love the metaphor. And then, Gita, meditation is often associated with mindfulness, but what are some less known practices or activities that can cultivate mindfulness in our daily lives?
As you rightly said, meditation is definitely one of it. So besides that, we need to develop this habit and keep a check on us, like, what am I feeling now, or what is going on within me? Sort of even scanning your body from top to bottom, like, am I feeling uncomfortable, or I'm like too much sitting comfortably? So that's where you start getting very clear what is going on. And also, besides that, you should concentrate or even count the number of breaths you're taking, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you know that that is the in, and now it's happening, like, exhaling. So inhaling and exhaling and counting it will definitely help us to be in the mindfulness state.
I think that is easiest as well. Like just that we have to
Yes.
count while inhaling and exhaling. I think that makes sense.
Yes.
And Gita, I'm curious. Like, can we say this, like practicing mindfulness might influence creativity and innovation, and also share any personal experiences or insights on the intersection between mindfulness and creative endeavors?
Yes. So we have to really keep on observing ourselves. Like, what is happening to me? Suppose now, for example, I know that when I wake up in the morning, I'm like being so observant. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I have to do gratitude because that is what has been helping me all throughout.
Mhm.
And suppose due to any reason, I just skip that. So I have to be mindful that, oh, today I didn't do that. And then when you're sitting, like, usually we have certain places where we sit and have a cup of coffee or tea, and we're just looking outside, or even just connecting with our own self. Is the time you feel that creativity will start building up, because you are actually connected to yourself. You're very clear that your communication is happening between yourself, your subconscious mind, and your conscious mind. And at that time, your decision making, everything falls into place. Like, it's sort of like, for example, if I can give, if we want to travel from place A to place B, and I have a meeting to attend, and I have not traveled that route before, so I have put on my GPS. And I'll keep on looking at it. Oh, now another turn. Oh, so many minutes, this, that, this. And I have to even concentrate on how I'm driving, where are the signals, where I'm stopping. So this all is a total chaos which is happening in my mind. So if I just focus on saying that, this is my destination, and yes, it's going to take so much time, instead of thinking so many things, and then just enjoying what is going on, be in the flow. At that time, you'll be able to also think what is going to happen during the meeting, what are the topics you're going to talk. So you will be able to connect with that thought while you're doing, because you've not brought the chaos from outside. You're not getting affected by the horn, playing, or this, because you are on the track, you have the GPS working, you know the route, and you are totally confident. So when you're confident, when you're in your present moment, and you're not taking more than too many thoughts coming to your mind, and just observing your breathing also. Like, for example, if you see, when we are standing on a signal, so they have that indicator like 40, 39. So if we are just looking at that, just breathing along with it, it's because like a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And that is the time all this creativity starts developing.
Got
So
it.
that's been my experience. Like, it just happens anywhere. But yes, I have to be in a very resourceful state.
Yeah, I see that. And a while ago, you mentioned about decision making, right? So let's double click on that.
Mm.
How does this mindfulness impact decision making processes, especially in high pressure or complex situations? And what strategies can individuals employ to make more mindfulness choices? Because there is a saying, right? You should not be promising something to somebody when you are overjoyed, and at the same time you should not be speaking
Yes.
to somebody when you are over anxious or when you are angry.
Overreaction. Like even if you're feeling too overwhelming, so
Yeah,
you should not, start having a conversation which you know it's going to be something serious.
yeah,
So yes, very interesting question. Here, what I do is now, for example, if I have to make a decision or I'm having a conversation with somebody which is very important conversation going on, where we have to take, like it could be an interview also, where we have to take a decision by end of it. So I have to all the time be alert. I can't just look up and just listen to something or ask some questions. So first, I have to be very clear in my mind. What is the purpose of this conversation I'm doing right now? What is the reason I'm talking to this person, and what are the ultimate decision making or the goals I want to achieve? Like, do I want to hire this person, or what is going to be his or her role? All these things should be one by one going in the mind, not everything together, like, oh, this and that. And now the very important thing is you have to be non-judgment. And if you could start from a know nothing state, like suppose you are meeting somebody and you just start with that you don't know anything about it, and just start, just see that it will go one step by step. Even the other person will understand, because if your breathing is very normal, that person also is going to go into that state. But if you start getting over, oh, this, that, blah, blah, oh, this is what, this is happening, and all. So you are creating that chaos, and the other person is also going to get affected. So how will your decision making come, like, something which is worth it? And also, we have to be very precise, like, why are we doing this conversation? That thought should be very clear. And the other important thing I would like to add is you have to be an active listener. Active listener is a person who will not process the answer while somebody's asking a question. Will listen to it and then take a pause and then answer it. And some people are already processing, oh, she's asking this question. Oh, this is what, this is a blah, blah. All that process is already happening in the mind. And that's why they just say what comes to their mind. They say, no, like whatever's coming to my top of the mind, I'm saying it. So when they just say it, they don't realize because they have not listened properly to this. So how can you help in the decision making if your conversation is not being fruitful?
it makes sense. And also now let's talk about the impact of this mindfulness in on interpersonal relationships, communication, and emotional intimacy. So how can couples or families incorporate mindfulness practices into their dynamics?
So here I would like to add, like, something which, if you have also observed, like, sometimes you keep the things just somewhere and you're not like, and the other person, the spouse, is very particular like how you keep the things. So once you do it, but then the other time only the person will say, you always do like this, always. So it's like, if you observe in office also, one person comes late for a meeting once, second time also suppose, but nobody remembers the rest of the time when they came on time. So it's always, because you're always thinking about that only. So you have to come like, okay, today. So that is the mindfulness where you really say, okay, today this is her or his state situation, and that's the reason why this is happening. So you come to that understanding, that communication develops, like, today is a new day. It's not what happened yesterday that's going to be happening today also.
Yeah.
But yes, yesterday I came on time, so today I'm late. So there could be a reason for it. We have to take a little step back and understand. And I think that's where our next series on NLP is definitely going to help.
Yeah.
How do we control this, or, be very observant what the other person is saying or what the other person is feeling, and then accordingly communicate. So now, it could be like, for example, you don't understand, you don't see what I'm telling you. You hear these kind of conversation, because that person doesn't has that visual. He's hearing it. So this is again the primary rep system, which we'll be talking about in our next series. So yeah,
Got it.
give more understanding by them.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the digital distractions. Like we are surrounded by multiple devices, multiple social media platforms, multiple OTT platforms, and everybody is craving for our attention, right? So in this particular age, how can individuals maintain mindfulness in a hyper connected world? And are there any specific techniques or approaches tailored to the digital age.
So yes, this is something which we really have to mindfully do it. So we have to really, like today morning, you decide that today this is going to be my day, like your schedule of the day. So I should not spend more time. Like for example, the way I do it sometimes is I'm not going to click on YouTube today. I'm going to focus on this unless I need to look at something, but not just holding the mobile in my hand and go to the YouTube, go to the shorts. You go to shorts and then you're totally lost.
Yeah.
You don't remember also because you can't even see the time. It totally takes away your attention. So you have to be mindfully deciding that today, I'll maybe spend about 10 minutes. That is okay. Or like, for example, if I'm going to I'm going to watch a series and everybody's saying, oh, the series is very interesting and all. And then you said, oh, I also want to watch it. And once you finish your work, it's late, but then you feel, no, no, I want to watch this because everybody's watching it. And then how do you plan? You have to really plan that today I'll see only one episode or I can watch it next time. Unless you don't take a step back and understand, what is the priority for today? Like if you're going to sit and do binge watching, what will happen? You're just going to go on maybe to 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. And next day, if it's a working day, how are you going to cope up? So we have to plan ourselves like, or even for our mobiles, like morning when we wake up, if we are going to the gym or doing our workouts. So that is the time I'm going to switch it off. And world is not going to come to an end. But the minute I start picking it up, it will definitely distract totally. And, we are lost in that. And it's a never ending story.
Right.
It just keep on happening. So we have to take some action points like, this is how I'm going to do today.
Yeah. So one thing which I've been diligently following ever since I started using smartphone is I keep my mobile away from me at least an hour before bed and minimum 1.5 hour after waking up, because typically my mornings are like me time. Like I go upstairs and then I work out and I want to be completely distraction free. And most of my family members and friends know that, okay, you can call this guy only after 9 a.m. or some designated time. If at all any call comes before that, it is nothing but any emergency. But if they think, okay, they have to convey some information, they'll convey it to my wife or my mom, right? I think that has been helping me. And I keep telling my wife also, don't touch the mobile, the very first thing, right? And also, people have gotten into the mode wherein they think, okay, if we binge watch something, then only they fall asleep. But no, that is not true.
Yeah, so rightly said, you would develop such a good habit, and this is such a good way of keeping a control. You're controlling your habit, and you've been practicing it for so long. That's why it's become a habit now. Yeah, so it really helps when people also understand and appreciate that this is your time, this is your me time.
Yeah.
And so unless very important, then they can reach out to your mom or your wife.
Right.
So at least they have that backup. But if they keep on calling you again and again, so that becomes irritating.
Exactly.
That's where you feel, this is something. Yes, it's very important to what we call have a digital detox mind.
Right, right. So one other thing is I keep a watch on my screen time. Like Apple does this beautiful report every week. It sends on a Sunday, right? It will give you a clear picture of how much time you have used and whether your
How
screen
many?
time was up or down, right? So if at all on a particular week, if it is up, and I immediately make a conscious choice saying that next week I should reduce it. That is also helping, right? But at times, me being in this content creation world, right, I have to use this device,
Yes.
right? And however I'm controlling, but yeah, this keeping a watch on screen time also is a good thing. These are the 2 cents I would like to add.
Oh, so that's exactly mindfulness, what you're doing for your digital, getting exposed to so much of digital happening around.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where exactly mindfulness is getting applied.
Good one. So let's move forward. And here comes my next question. Like, how does this mindfulness evolve and adapt as individuals age? What role can this mindfulness play in promoting healthy aging and cognitive well-being?
Okay. So for that, the way I've also been doing is you should have your own gratitude, you have your own journal. And as you rightly said, you need to develop a routine. Like, for example, if you're retired and you don't have, to go to office, but how are you using your morning time, which is usually the most productive time. So, are you involved in some physical activities or going to some laughter club or doing something which is keeping you occupied and also helping you to be with people? Unless you don't want to be with people, then you can develop those habits. And the other thing is, like, there is, like, you do yoga, you start writing, or at least get involved in some kind of hobbies. So some people who are fond of cooking, or they forming communities, you develop, like, okay, schedule your day. Like, when we are working, we are all the time moving across the clock. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's 2 o'clock now. Okay, now 1 o'clock. Oh, 4 o'clock. This is what is to be done. When that sort of gets reduced, we have to start developing something to do, whether it's a hobby of reading, playing music, or something to keep you occupied, and schedule some things, like, make some events, do some community development, so that you are totally engaged, not get feeling, oh, what's happening in my life. Don't come into that state. So be mindful of that. What question is going in your head?
Awesome. And such a lovely conversation. And it's time for us to add some more spice and some more excitement to the episode. So if you're ready, I'll kick off the second rapid fire round.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Here comes the first bullet. If you had access to a time machine, where and when would you go?
I would just like to go to the next year only and see what is happening. I'm not thinking about very far off.
And any specific place?
Actually, I was thinking of for this year. I was thinking of Paris Olympics, but I think next year we don't have Olympics. So I think somewhere in August we have Olympics,
Mhm.
Paris.
Yeah.
So that's something which I would like to go to.
Okay, got it. And then
Yeah,
what
be there.
makes you unique, Gita?
I feel I feel and like I'm the blessed child of the universe. So I'm very connected with the universe. So I feel that connection is very strong.
And what will be your reaction after knowing someone is ignoring you without any reason?
I would not spend my energy on that thought.
Awesome. And name a movie that everyone has to watch in their lifetime.
Godfather?
And can you challenge yourself to live without social media for 1 year?
No, not at all. 1 year is too much.
Yeah, and moreover,
1 hour, the minute we see, there is no connectivity and we are hyper.
No, the other day I was checking with my students what happens if internet goes down for a week. I think people will get mad.
Oh, there will be no mind and mindfulness. It will be totally chaos.
Great rapid fire so far. And here comes the last bullet. Which language do you like very much and interested in learning about it?
Hindi.
Hindi. Okay, super. Let's flip back to the mainstream. And here comes my last question. How does this mindfulness manifest across different cultural contexts? And are there any cultural nuances or variations in mindfulness practices that people may not be aware of?
So far, what I am aware of is in Hinduism, there's lots. Like, we have yoga, we have pranayama, we have vipassana. In pranayama, of course, there's so much to do, Brahmari and Anilo Below. So these are all mindfulness exercises. And I think more besides Hinduism, what I have observed is Buddhism are following. So they have chanting. Like in Hinduism, also, we do a lot of chanting, which really helps you to, got to come to a state of mind, controlled state of mind. And Buddhism, they follow a lot. And I'm sure each religion has their own way of connecting to the God, or as per that. So when they are even singing something, or reading the books and all, when they're singing it aloud, that's where they are getting connected, and that's where they go into that state of mindfulness, where they really get connected the Almighty.
Superb. Thank you. And this was such a great conversation. And Geeta, thank you so much for joining us today. And looking forward to the fourth session or the fourth episode in the TGV MindShift series. So thank you once again for spending time with us.
Thank you, Naveen. Thank you for a lovely time.
Yeah. So friends, that was our episode with Gita Sethi, which is the third one part of TGV MindShift series. And there is one more episode pending. I'm going to talk about it in a while. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, We have a quick request. In case if you haven't already subscribed to TGV, please subscribe to the Guiding Voice podcast from wherever you have tuned in, because subscribing keeps you updated on new episodes and you cannot afford to miss these wonderful conversations, engaging speakers across the globe. And if you have enjoyed the conversation and found it useful, please share with at least three of your friends or colleagues who would also like TGV, the Guiding Voice. So spread the knowledge and help others grow just like you. Now let's hop into the trivia segment. Having had amazing conversation with Gita Sethi on mindfulness, let me give you some origins of the term mindfulness. The term mindfulness originates from the Pali word sati in ancient Buddhist teachings, meaning awareness or attention. John Kabat-Zinn popularized mindfulness in the West in the 1970s through his mindfulness-based stress reduction (MBSR) programs, and since then, mindfulness has gained widespread recognition for its benefits in reducing stress, managing pain, and promoting overall well-being, becoming integrated into various fields including psychology, healthcare, and education. So here comes my question to you: what mindfulness practices are you following to keep yourself awake and to make best out of this life? So I'd love to hear from you. If you are watching this episode on YouTube, you can comment there, or if you found this episode on any audio platform or some social media platform, you can comment there as well. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and also, folks, thank you so much for being part of our awesome TGV family, and we'd love to hear from you. So do not hesitate to share your ideas, feedback, topic recommendations, and most importantly, guest speaker suggestions either through our social media platforms, or you can also email us at theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com, and let's create content that resonates with you. I'm your host Naveen Samala, a lifelong learner, and my goal is to have impactful conversations that improve not only your life but also your career. Until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember, the future holds great things because the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you all in the next episode with Gita Sethi once again on the fourth topic of TGV MindShift series, which is Neuro Linguistic Programming, and LP. So excited to see you all there. Thank you.